It would be a little bit of an understatement to say that it's been a while since the World Legacy lore ended, but Konami works in mysterious ways. Out of nowhere, we received not one, but 2 new cards for Orcust, which will hopefully revitalize the strategy. Galatea I, the Orcust Automaton, is their new Link 1 that requires an Orcust or World Legacy monster. It can only be Link summoned once per turn and cannot be used as a material for an XC summon. The first effect lets you send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard to add a World Legacy monster or Orcustrated Babble from the deck or graveyard to your hand, meaning that that's right, this is a Link 1 that's not just a fail spell. But that's not all, as the second effect lets you special summon her from the graveyard by banishing another Orcust card from the graveyard. I mean, what else is there to say? It's a Link 1, so it's good. Jokes aside, this card is nothing short of amazing for Orcust. It gives them a massive consistency boost by helping get Orcust into the graveyard by linking them off or discarding them. But its ability to search Orcustrated Babble is also great for the deck, allowing us to now search both Babble and Crescendo in the same turn. But of course, no wave of support is complete without a new boss monster, and we sure got one. Enlogesu the Orcust Magnite is a new Link 4 that requires 2 or more monsters, including an Orcust Link monster. It can target one of your banished Orcust or World Legacy cards to add it to your hand, then you can shuffle 1 card from your hand into the deck and take control of 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. In addition, during your main phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent out from the extra monster zone this turn, you can banish it to send 1 card on the field to the graveyard. Enlogesu is a great new boss monster for the deck. Not only does it help keep our resource loop going by recycling banished cards, which includes spells or traps which Orcust couldn't do before. With the help of Babble, it also represents a powerful interruption that your opponent has to respect. This is the basic combo of the deck that requires Gersu the Orcust Magnite and any other card. We begin by normal summoning Gersu, activating its effect to send Harp Horror from our deck to the graveyard. We'll then use his other effect to special summon a World Legacy token to both sides of the field. We'll use a World Legacy token to link up for Galatea I, activating our on-field effect to send a card from our hand to the graveyard to search for Orcustrated Babble. Now we activate Harp Horror in our graveyard, banishing it to special summon Orcust Nightmare from our deck. From here we link up for Galatea, after which we'll banish the Nightmare from our graveyard to send Symbol Skeleton from our deck to the graveyard. We can then activate Galatea, returning the banished Nightmare to our deck to set Orcustrated Crescendo from our deck. We then link up for Gersu before banishing Gersu from our graveyard to special summon Galatea I, which we will use to link summon Enlogesu. We activate Enlogesu's effect, returning our banished Gersu to our hand and shuffling a card from our hand into the deck to take control of the opponent's token. Afterwards, we can banish Symbol Skeleton from our graveyard to revive Galatea, which we will use to XC summon Dingersu, activating its effect to attach the banished Harp Horror to it as material. Lastly, we can go ahead and link summon Ivy Masquerena before we pass our turn. On our opponent's turn, we can activate Galatea I's effect to special summon herself from the graveyard, giving us an additional material to use for IP. With the new support, Harp Horror is now also a starter, as long as you have another card to discard. We begin by normal summoning Harp Horror, linking it off for Galatea I. We activate Galatea I's effect, sending a card from our hand to the graveyard to search for Orcustrated Babble. From here, we activate Harp Horror in our graveyard, banishing it to special summon Gersu from our deck. We activate Gersu's effect, sending Orcust Nightmare from our deck to our graveyard, which we will then activate to send Symbol Skeleton from our deck to the graveyard. From here, we'll link up with the Galatea, activating her effect to shuffle our banished Orcust Nightmare to our deck to set Orcustrated Return. Now we can activate Galatea I's effect on our graveyard, banishing Gersu to special summon herself. We'll go ahead and XC summon Dingersu using our link to Galatea and activate its effect, attaching Harp Horror to it as material. Now we can link up with the Dark, after which we'll banish Symbol Skeleton from our graveyard to revive our Galatea, which we will use to link up with the Enlogesu. Lastly, we'll activate Enlogesu's effect, adding our banished Symbol Skeleton to our hand before we pass our turn. On our opponent's turn, we'll activate Galatea Eye's Graveyard effect to banish our other Galatea to special summon herself. After which, we can activate our on-field effect to discard our Symbol Skeleton and search for a World Wand. I think it's fair to say that the new Orcust support is pretty great. The new Galatea does wonders for the deck's consistency, now giving Orcust 2 in-archetype starters as Harp Horror is now also a starter. But it also helps unbreak hands by discarding Orcust that might be stuck in your hand. And no Girsu isn't too shabby either, giving the deck a competent boss monster with a powerful interruption, as well as helping with the deck's grind game. Konami really nailed it this time, modernizing the deck with just 2 cards, and more impressively, managing to still keep it feeling like old Orcust. If you've ever been a fan of Orcust, now's definitely the time to pick it up again, it's a lot of fun.